Hi everybody, I'm here to do a little brief lesson based on the riff to My Girl, which is I think an iconic a song that really has become a folk song, I think, in a lot of ways. And just want to talk about how to play the riff and to maybe embellish it, or maybe to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more to drive the song along. If you're playing with maybe a smaller band, or a maybe accompanying a singer or something like that. So I want to talk about, obviously the song's in the key of C. I think most people sort of know the riff, that basic riff. And I just want to sort of talk about how this, when you play it with an A-style bar chord, a C A-style bar chord in the third position, and the fact that you would change to the I guess first inversion of the chord, which would be same triad here of the C chord, but with a E here, which would be the third of the chord. So you're sort of transitioning between sort of this shape and this shape. So when you play the riff, and I do a little slide in there as opposed to just singling that or just playing the notes. I think it just adds a little bit more interest. But also, if you were to add some double stops, where you would when you lead off on that first note to play the root and fifth, or a C and a G, then slide up or to hammer on. So the double stops that you could play would be where you're obviously in the third position, and then you shift to the fifth position, and then you're playing like a little mini bar of two notes with your index finger, and then hammer on with that D to E. So you're playing a D to E, excuse me, with a G, a second note. And a lot of people typically when they're first starting out, they tend to want to hold this too tight, or they got their hand kind of this way and this and all that. You want to be able to be kind of relaxed, kind of put your thumb behind where your index finger is, and then hold that little mini bar, and then go. So you're just hammering on, let the note ring, and then hammering on with your ring finger. And then you can play that second note separately. It's like, or you could also play that as a double stop, where you're kind of moving your index finger across one string. So you go, and then I do a slide from the G to the A to that C note. So this is how I would put it together. Now, the other thing that would drive the song along too is to have most Motown songs typically have like a real solid 2 and 4 beat, and if you're not playing with a drummer or something like that, you might want to kind of put that in there. So you could also go like, really emphasize those 2 and 4 beats. So that's like the intro, after going over the, or the bass. And then when the song starts, when the verse goes along, you're going to go. And now you're down to an F. It's going to advance between a C and an F chord. And that is basically the same pattern starting on the F at the first position. Now I would probably not be doing the double stops on that. You could, you could do that or something, but I think you want to kind of vary it a little bit, so you can go. And then back to doing that kind of 2 and 4 beat, C, D minor, F, G, C, D minor, F, right there. And then that's a C major 7. So just to walk through that, chords are all in the key of C, C, D minor, F, G, and then it repeats that again. So a C major 7 chord, which you can play, there's obviously numerous ways to play this chord. This is the sort of A-style bar chord version, where you drop the root note a half step down to the major 7. And you could also play this sort of open, folky, that kind of C major 7. You can play one, here, or that kind of thing. And you can sort of transition, that kind of stuff. And then the song, goes to a verse, where the horn break is, goes, and then it goes to D minor, to G, E minor, real basic change, to A, and now you're in D. You've transposed up a whole step to D, and just basically do the same riff as before. Now to G. That kind of thing. And the same thing, same vamp, My girl, now in D. You also play it here to my girl, E minor, and then does a little vamp, turn around, which is A, G, F sharp minor, E minor, to now you're in the key of D, D major 7 chord. And you can do little hammers. You could add a major 9 or a major 9 chord like that. But anyway, just wanted to summarize, I guess. Think about doing these little double stops that add a lot of interest to the song. And I'll be doing some other lessons in the future, so keep watching. Thanks a lot.